I am Tyson Mitchell, Director of the Mayor's Office of Equal Opportunity, or OEO for short is what we call it, the Office of Equal Opportunity. So you'll hear that term throughout, OEO, just to cut down on any confusion. When I joined the administration 2.5 years ago, one of the things I noticed was that I did not run across my Hispanic brothers and sisters who owned businesses or had contracts with the city of Cleveland, or even working on projects that city of Cleveland put money into. We often talk about Black and brown communities that have been historically disadvantaged and left out, that they should have more opportunity and be a part of city contracts and construction that goes on in this ecosystem. Sadly, I don't see many of you on our projects. And so I recently shared my thoughts with the mayor, and he said we have to do something about this. So this is our attempt to bring you all into the community and say, hey, we want to partner with you and help you understand City Hall and navigate how we do business here in the City Hall, in the city of Cleveland. So today we are here to officially introduce ourselves to you and to discuss how the city of Cleveland can be your partner. We know it can be intimidating. I'm a former tax attorney. So going through, looking at the forms, all those things that you need to bid can be intimidating in my opinion. So me as an attorney, sometimes I struggle with those things. So I know some people who have gone through, who have not had an education of law and going to law school might struggle. So I struggle. So that's one of the things I wanted to bring you all here today to talk about. Now, with that, I was supposed to turn it over to Mi Hermana, Councilwoman Jasmine Santana, but one of the things, she is right in the middle. She can't be here, unfortunately. She is right in the middle of the redistricting. I don't know if you all heard about the redistricting of the lines, the city ward lines. So she is caught up with TV 20 and Channel 19 right now, going over that. So she sends her apologies and love. So with that, I will turn it over to mi hermano, Brother Chris Martinez. Thank you.
Bienvenidos. And good afternoon, everyone. My name is Chris Martinez. I'm the Hispanic liaison for the city of Cleveland. And I serve as a Hispanic liaison, and it's an honor to welcome each of you today to this event. We have organized this gathering to strengthen the connection between the Latino small businesses and the owner and a vital service to our city that can provide. I encourage you to notice our team members wearing name tags that say "Yo hablo español." They are here to assist you. You may assist you with any translation need and ensuring that everyone feel included and supported. Through the venue, you will find various of resource tables filled with valuable information. They are in the back and on the side. Additional is a QR code that is available in your book. There's a little book in there, and link you to the presentation to being showcased today. This feature is designed to engage your experience, allow you to follow along on your mobile device and revise the material at your convenience. We sincerely appreciate your presence here today and reflect your commitment to your business and our community. Now, it is my pleasure to introduce Elizabeth Kopchak, who will guide us in the first segment of our presentation. Thank you once again for being here. Gracias por estar aquí esta tarde. Un aplauso para la persona que se encargó hoy de preparar este evento. Elizabeth.
Oh, welcome. Un aplauso.
All right, my name is Elizabeth Kupchak, and I am the Primary Certification Officer with the Office of Equal Opportunity, along with Ms. Tiffany Dandy. We'll be at this table later on. And today, we're going to go over some resources with that you can utilize with the state of Ohio if you have not already started your business or just maintain your business. And then we will go into certification with the city. Okay, so if you are a new business starting out or know somebody that is, this is a great resource to utilize. This is ohio.gov. So the State of Ohio Business has great services for small business. They have resources for starting a business with a great checklist. There is a great tool on there that can be utilized even if you have an existing business. It's just basically like a one-stop checklist and for the state requirements. And they have a drop-down bar that you can utilize. So for instance, if I'm in trucking, I can just go to this, click on the start a business. It's right there for the one-stop checklist. I select trucking, and it's gonna tell me what I should be doing with the state of Ohio with my business, such as PUCO, ODOT, exercise motor vehicle tax. So it's just a great tool to utilize. They also have open business resource connections that you can utilize, frequently asked questions, filing forms and fee schedules for your business, and how to dissolve the business, but hopefully we'll never get there. But it's just a great all-in-one resource. A lot of information. The state of Ohio does a great job partnering with the SBA organizations, which we have one here today. Over in the back, in the corner, we have the Northeast Ohio Hispanic Center of Economic Development. They are considered an SBA. So going off of those SBAs, there is a great contact here in Cleveland District. It is by appointment only. I did put the website up here for you to view and your convenience. They are, so the Cleveland District is actually serving 28 urban and rural counties in Northern Ohio, and they are providing small businesses with services and funding programs, counseling, and federal contracting certifications. When you call into the city, we are more than happy to give you these connections and resources. Some great resources that are on that website for you to utilize are to start your business, plan your business, launch your business, manage your business if you're already established, and how to grow your business. So we just thought it really important to point these out, as well as our resources. So earlier I mentioned the SBA. We have here the Northeast Ohio Hispanic Center for Economic Development, as well as Urban League of Greater Cleveland. Some other resources in our area are the Spanish American Committee and the ECDI. So is anybody here familiar with any of these organizations? By a raise of hand. Okay, awesome. So those of you who are not, I strongly suggest looking into these resources on those sites. And again, the Office of Equal Opportunity is here with information on these. So now I'm going to hand it over to Michael Curry, the Assistant Director of the Office of Equal Opportunity, to go into more detail regarding certification. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Michael Curry. I am the Assistant Director of the Office of Equal Opportunity. As Elizabeth was saying, though, as much as I'm about to talk a little bit about how you'll handle some of this stuff technically, the Office of Equal Opportunity is here to serve our business community as best we can. So If, as I'm going through anything looks complicated or something that is a little intimidating, my first response would be, please contact us directly. Call Liz, ask her to help you through the process, because that is going to be the way we solve these problems. We're not setting these up to make it harder for you to get certified or to, make it a more difficult process for you in any part of your business. We are doing it so that we've met some general government regulations. We're taking care of what we need to take care of while also providing that assistance to you. The Office of Equal Opportunity was formed in 1977. We are the city's certification and contractor compliance office. What this means is, in particular, I'll go to our mission to advance equal economic benefit for all Clevelanders by ensuring compliance with contractor goals and requirements, by providing development and support activity for target groups, and by overall advocacy with a commitment to excellent public service. But what this really means is we certify our minority, female, and small contractor base, and we provide opportunities for those businesses to do business with the city and with our partners. So we do certify businesses as minority owned business enterprises, female owned business enterprises, and Cleveland area small businesses. We also have some other smaller certifications for our local producers, our local food purchasers, for different types of programming that we perform as part of that. As a certified contractor, your company profile will be added to the city's online registry. So when city departments or city contractors or even contractors working with our partners in the private sector are looking for businesses that are minority, female, or small business certified, they're going to reference this registry so that they can find businesses that fit their needs. So if you do get certified with us, you'll be added to that registry. We'll have a business description for you, contact information, any type of work that you're doing. We do use NAICS codes, if you're familiar with that. It's a way of classifying businesses, and that also helps connect our partners with our certified businesses. Our applications are submitted electronically through the City of Cleveland's B2G Now contract compliance system. We will have QR codes up here this morning if you need additional information on that. But all of our application information is submitted electronically, which means there is no paper. You're not submitting anything to Rundale. Everything is submitted electronically, and that's how we're going to review it as it comes in. We're going to review for a few major issues: ownership and control. Obviously, if you're a minority-owned business enterprise, we need to confirm that you are indeed owned by minority person or persons that are your owners. Location, the City of Cleveland certification is tied to our geography. So it means we need to identify where you're located to make sure that you can benefit from our programming. Size and capability and capacity. So we are going to review the annual revenue of your business, the equipment that you hold, and some other things just to, properly connect you based on your capacity and your size. Again, the City of Cleveland's online application is through our B2G Now website. You'll find that at cleveland.diversitycompliance.com. That's cleveland.diversitycompliance.com. And again, there are the QR codes there. That will take you to this page, which is our homepage. From here, you'll be able to see, obviously, an opportunity to apply for certification, but you'll also find some other interesting information here. We'll be able to search our database of certified contractors. You'll be able to actually review every City of Cleveland contract that is subject to OEO regulations. You can see how they're doing as far as their minority, female, and small business subcontracting is concerned, and a number of other things here on the site. As an applicant for certification, you're going to start at this online application section. It's going to ask if you're requesting a new certification or a recertification. The information requested on that is a little bit different depending on if you're new to us, if you're just recertifying. Certifications in the Office of Opportunity are valid for 2 years. So if you are certified, you'll have that certification for 2 years. 2 years after that, we'll ask you for some additional information to recertify. The goal is to collect as much information as we need from you, but to limit the amount of paper and stress that is part of the application. This is a list of the general documents that we collect as part of your certification process. Again, you'll review this as you go through your application. We do ask for some company profile information. Again, that ownership information I was talking about earlier, and control. Again, this is necessary to validate you as a minority of the business. Any real estate that the business may own or where you're conducting your work from. Some past contracts and some additional financial information. As you're going through this application, it's going to ask you specific questions about this. My advice generally is if you have the document, please complete it. Please include it as part of the package. If you do not have the document, don't stop. Give us a call. Talk to us about where you're at, what you had, what maybe you're missing. We will help you through that process to resolve those issues and get you certified. But start with the documents you had. If for whatever reason you're missing something, like I said, please don't stop. Please call us. Let us help you out as you go through that process so we can get you taken care of. The opportunity to review applications typically takes less than 2 weeks. If we do have any questions about your application, we will reach out to you directly and resolve those questions, but we will process them quickly and get you certified as quickly as possible. And as I said, the certification is valid for 2 years. We do have a few success stories when there'll be other contractors on this list. Bubble Brown is a contractor that started as a painting subcontractor on a Shaker Square project. That contract has grown and they've been successful as they've been working on that project. And then Greeneries Lawn Care and Top Designer Landscaping are 2 certified contractors that have worked on lawn care projects with our Department of Public Works. So we do millions and millions of dollars of contracting, not just with us, but with our private partners. And being certified has benefited those businesses. And with that, I'm going to take one quick aside and say, doing business with the city is one thing, doing business with our partners is a whole other. And so as we enter into agreements with our private partners, including Cleveland Clinic, University Hospitals, the new Bedrock project down by the river, the Guardians, a number of other these private projects. And these projects are also engaged in community benefits agreements with the city of Cleveland. What that means is these projects had minority business enterprise, female business enterprise, and Cleveland area small business goals associated with them. So even if you come here, and I'm very happy to have you here next to the Christmas tree, you say, okay, dealing with the city of Cleveland is difficult. I'm not sure I want to get involved in government contracting. I respect that. But there are plenty of private projects existing in a greater universe around us that are impacted by the city of Cleveland, that the city has a financial investment in those projects that also have these minority and female subcontracting goals associated. So, like I said, even if you come here, you say, traffic was there, right? I don't want to deal with the city of Cleveland right now. That's fine, but you may want to deal with the Bedrock Project, the clinic, and any number of other organizations that work with us. Again, you'll go to cleveland.diversitycompliance.com. For that information, you'll contact Elizabeth and Tiffany Andy in our office. If you have any additional questions, their contact information is here and is part of the presentation. We will be around for some questions, so if you do have any questions, please hang out and we'll answer them shortly. But for now, I'm going to turn it over to Randy Cedeno, the director of Small Business, director of the Small Business Development Center for the Hispanic Business.
Buenas tardes. Buenas tardes. That's Spanish 101 for those of you who don't speak Spanish, all right? Buenas tardes. Before I kick off, I want to congratulate Chris and Elizabeth and their team for putting this together. This is the first. Este es el primer evento de esta magnitud. Podemos dar un aplauso. Another thing that I have to do, just because it's me, is that I have to acknowledge our elders who are in the room in terms of our VIPs in our community. So, José Deliciado y la abuelita Vargas, I know that they really did que lo puedo hacer bien. José Deliciado cariñosamente con el jefe, el boss. Lo quiero demasiado, así que. And yes, my name is Randy Cedeno. I am the director of the Hispanic Business Center. Enter CPD, Northeast Ohio Hispanic Center for Economic Development. It is a mouthful. Most important thing is we're on West Star 5th and Park Avenue. ¿Hay alguien aquí que no hable inglés? ¿O que tenga dificultad con hablar en inglés? ¿O entendiendo? Allá. ¿Alguien más? Maria, can you help me? Right behind me? Or vamos a... Muchas gracias until we keep orders away here. So at the Hispanic Business Center, we work with entrepreneurs on all facets, regardless of where you're at. You can be starting, you can be in the idea phase, you can be already operating for multiple years. But we will help you anywhere from registering your business to creating your financial formas, business models, including working on your certifications, which we do on a daily basis, as well as working with both on the capital culture. Educarme el dinero, right? ¿Quién no quiere dinero? Y todos servicios son gratuitos. Services are 100% free. We will charge to our community. There's a couple of you that have already engaged in us previously. But we are another resource in inglés, en español, or Spanglish, which is heavily used in Cleveland. And feel free to reach out to us. We're the last table on the corner here, closest to the exit doors. And I'll leave you guys with this. El que pesca come, y el que no vive arriba. Te queremos enseñar a pescar. We wanted to teach you how to fish, so that you can eat long term. Okay, so just one of the resources. There's other resources in the room that you can take advantage of as well. And I didn't do this one in Spanish. ¿Ustedes entendieron lo que presentaron aquí de la certificación o el valor de la certificación? Si no lo entendieron, en exceso mal. Ok, en breve, la certificación le da acceso a dos cosas. Ser contratos directamente o trabajar directamente con la ciudad, contratos gubernamentales locales. Ok, nosotros somos el grupo con más crecimiento, pero no tenemos nuestra mano en lo que se mueve en la ciudad todavía. Hay mucha oportunidad, pero nosotros tenemos que ir y tomar los pasos para poder entrar y competir correctamente. La otra es que no solamente puedes solicitar contratos con la ciudad, pero pues ser subcontratistas de contratistas que ya tienen el contrato por la ciudad, porque hay requisito, y ese requisito es técnicamente entre 10 y 15% de esos contratos. 15% de $1 millón son $150,000. So, hay oportunidades que pueden tomar y agarrar por sus manos. Y la solicitud de la parte de atrás, la solicitud no está en español, pero sí le podemos ayudar si necesita la ayuda. So in brief, I just explained the value on what the certification process is and being able to compete or apply or see opportunities, contracting opportunities with the city of putting in, or even self-contracting. So I probably supported in my 3 minutes. But muchas gracias. And next we're going to have Ramoninda Vargas, Chief Executive Officer of the Spanish American Community.
I was laughing when I was looking at this microphone because I thought, that microphone's going to be a little bit above my head, which happens to me all the time. Welcome, everyone. My name is Ramonita Vargas. Thank the Lord. Oh, can you hear me? Great, thank you, Jose. So my name is Ramonita Vargas, and I am the CEO of the Spanish American Committee. When I was first invited to this event, I thought, why the Spanish American Committee? We are a social service agency. However, the more I thought about it, I thought, it is the oldest and largest Spanish social service agency in the city of Cleveland and in the state of Hawaii. Thank you, Chris Martinez, for inviting me. Because when I think about the amount of people that we serve, which is about 3,600 people a year, half of them being new into Cleveland from Puerto Rico, South America, Mexico, and other cities around Ohio. Many of the individuals that go to see us they're looking for a job, they're looking to be a first-time homeowner, they are needing social service needs. Now, the Spanish American Committee has Workforce, the Latino Construction Program, a first-time home buyer program, a child care center, and a social service program. Now, it's a lot to do in one small organization. But then I started to think, how does this connect? We have the Latino Construction Program. Many people that come through our program, they are interested in becoming a business owner. They go to the program, saw that have a language barrier, which is the reason that a lot of them come to the Spanish American community to begin with. However, we have English as a second language. We refer a lot of the people that want to be a business owner to the Ohio Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. At least we have a resource that we know is there and available to our community that don't speak English. We also have the first-time home buyer program. And someone told me, you know what? When someone goes into a bank and they want to be a business owner, the first thing they say, do you own a home? Why? Because of the equity in the home. And that is so important to someone that is purchasing and wants to open up a business. Now, how the city of Cleveland has been very important to the Spanish American Committee, because the city of Cleveland gives us, for maybe close to 45 years, has provided funding through Community Development Block Grant. That Community Development Block Grant has been the source of having a first-time owner program at the organization for over 25 years. And through those funds, we are able to help these individuals that walk into the Spanish American community wanting to be a first-time homeowner and eventually be a business owner. Recently, we received ARPA funding approved through the city of Cleveland to support the Latino Construction Program. This is an opportunity for us to be able to help these individuals also become first-time business owners. And there's been many grants and awards given to the Spanish American Committee, being the oldest and largest Spanish social service agency, 60 years here in the city of Cleveland. The city of Cleveland, City Hall, it is scary for a lot of our community because they don't understand the language. I am really happy to see that and hear that Randy said this is the first. Why? Because it shows me and our community that at least the city of Cleveland is making an effort to work with the Latino community. As I see this group here, my dream is to see a Hispanic included in that group. That also would tell me, wow, they're really looking to support. I see everything written in Spanish, but when I see a Latino city within the group, then that really tells me we're really moving forward. Thank you, Ollie. I didn't know I was supposed to mention the next person, but then I would like to mention the Cafe, Mr. Boceto Lisiano.
I'm sure, the oldest person in this room. I went from being the boy wonder, and the next day, I was the oldest person in the room. That happened overnight, Ronita. So I want to thank my brother in Christ, Zach Reed. I wouldn't have come here unless Zach asked me, but I sat in the front row in church, and he came over there. He caught me in a moment of weakness, and so anyway, thanks, Zach. Noah's got a bigger heart for you, for the residents of Cleveland, all endeavors of our communions that I prayed. I'm retired 7 years now. I practiced law nearly 50 years, and but my retirement has gotten a little away from the actual day-to-day activities here at City Hall. And so what I'd like to do is share really more philosophy and principles, and most importantly, an attitude that you have to have in order to navigate this bureaucracy, and quite frankly, any bureaucracy, whether it's the federal government or the state or some large corporation. You got to learn how to manage it. I think these principles will apply there just as they apply here. And let me take the mystery out of this. I say there are three things. One is issue identification. You got to identify what the issue of the problem is, right? The second thing is relationship development. And you've got people here that want to be your partners, that want to help you. And maybe most importantly, if this is the only thing you remember from my presentation, write it down now. Fall down 7 times, get up 8 times. I'm going to say it again. Fall down 7 times, get up 8 times. Starting a business is a difficult challenge, and working with City Hall really requires persistence. It is rare that you are going to be able to walk in and get it all done in one fell swoop. It just doesn't happen that way. And if my life is any indication of how these things work, to me it seems like there's always something else. There's always something else. And you have to be prepared for that. Otherwise, I think you'd just be discouraged and miss the opportunity of developing a business, which could be the most important thing in your life. And so getting to the first point of issue identification, you really need to be comfortable with this notion of certification. And what does that mean? And what does it mean to your business? And the certification, people say it like it's easy to do. It's hard to do. Filling out those stupid forms is difficult. I was aware nearly 50 years, I still find it painful to do that. And so I think that you just have to take an approach of iteration, of steps. It's one step at a time, a little bit at a time. And then see if you can develop a relationship with someone to help you, whether it's internally there or someone in Rabanita's office or in Cedeno's office, to get someone to help you do that, because I think it's really hard to do. But you just got to get comfortable with the certification process. Everyone here should be certified. And I'm going to tell you, it's not going to be easy. But just because it's the nature of it, the people here will help you, and they want to help you. But I'm just telling you, you just got to be prepared that it's going to be an iterative process. It will take time, and it will take different steps. So you need to be prepared for that. The second area is contracts and procurement, all right? There's a division here and you just need to get comfortable with how the city buys things and how you qualify for contracting. And so, if I were doing this, I would develop a friend in that office, develop a partner, and have someone explain the infrastructure. How does it work? And then find out that way you can identify when the opportunities come, but you'll want to be familiar with that procurement process. And again, it's not simple, and it will take a little time. People want to help you. They do want to help you. The other thing is on the financing end, there's lots of entities out there that will help you finance. There are grants available in various areas. You got people like Jose's group over at Jumpstart that will help you with what financial mechanisms are available. Of course, if you could get a grant, that's the best there. If you get a low premium, low interest loan, then you do that. But you gotta have some fundamental understanding of the financing and who can help you understand financing. And I know that the people at Randy's shop can be helpful to you in that regard. I know that Jose can be helpful to you. And I even think that Rob Juanita's place, even though it deals with the average guy, they too can help you understand the money, because you got to understand money if you're going to do business. So, and then issues, permits, and licenses. I don't know what your specific businesses are, but you may need a permit and you may need some kind of license. So getting back to the first point I raised with you, to identify the issue, what is the problem there? And I'm going to give you a suggestion that I've done my whole life on how you maintain an issues file and how you could get that done. But you really need to get comfortable with permits and licensing, and they're here. People, as a general proposition, will want to help you, and hopefully that at each of these different departments you can develop a relationship with someone that you can call and they can explain it to you. And let me just encourage you to ask dumb questions. You cannot ask a question that's too dumb. And quite frankly, that's exactly the question that you want to ask. And there's something inside of this that says that you want to appear that you're stupid, but there's no way in the world that you could understand how it works. Moreover, there's no way in the world that you can understand how it specifically works here. So the asking your question is absolutely critical, and hopefully you can develop a relationship with someone that you can trust. Now, I am notorious for getting people's telephone numbers and their cell phones. I get people from all over the place calling me that the first time I meet you, I'm really nice to you because I want your telephone number and I want your cell phone. And so get a cell phone. I understand the general numbers, but you go into those general numbers and you can be in hell. And so the idea of getting a card, but as importantly, and perhaps most importantly, get that darn cell phone. That's really critical. As a lawyer, I tried a lot of lawsuits over the years, and Ramonita, lift that bull thing there. Yeah, lift it up. All right. Whenever I went to trial, I had something called a trial notebook. And in the trial notebook, you put in the people that you're going to call as a witness. You put in the exhibits you're going to introduce. You identify the key issues. Let me suggest to you that you develop some kind of a methodology like that. It doesn't have to look like that, it can be small, but something where you actually list on that piece of paper the issue that you are confronting, whether it's financing, whether it's certification, whether it's procurement, but list it in a notebook. And this is stuff is so basic, but it's so hard to do when you actually get down to it. It's a to-do list. All right, I just read a whole book written by a Navy SEAL on a to-do list. And if you just are able to identify the things that you have to do and put them down on a piece of paper, and they just stay there until you check them off. And that way you just look at it and you know you have to do that. But if you put that stuff in one notebook, and what I do is I put a little tab over here, the people I met, put a little, those little stickers. You put that in your notebook, and then but don't lose that, because that's everything that you're going to do. So that's so critical. But it's a notebook, and in it you put the darn to-do list, Lida. So this is, my mother used to call me Thomas. And you know why she did that? After the Lord rose, Thomas said, I'm not going to believe that Jesus was here until I could put my finger in his thigh, in his side, and in his hands. And so that is the reason that she did that, I think, is because I almost never take anything that someone says to me at face value. I almost confer everything. And even though you may talk to someone one time, don't think that that's it. Always look for ways to confer. And I had a math teacher 100 years ago when I was in college who said that if you put two people in two separate rows with the same math problem and they give you the same answer, the chances are that's the right answer. And I suggest to you, as you're going through this process, hear it twice, and then you'll get comfortable, especially the things that are most important. So let me close up. I know I've talked way too much, but the fundamental reason I think that, whatever Montessori says I'll enjoy, it's the relationships. And if you have a relationship with someone in all these different divisions that can help you get through it, that is really critical. This program here is evidence that there's outreach to you, that they want to help you, that they want to develop partnership, but to develop a relationship, it goes both ways. Let me suggest that, the guy Sam Walton, Walmart's, and he said that the world is just full of people waiting for someone to make the first move. So let me just suggest, if it's your business, you got to make the first move. It takes two people. And when you exercise that initiative and can develop that relationship, I think it can go far in terms of whatever the issue is that you're gonna face here. And it's going to be more than one. And I know I'm repeating myself, and this is simplistic, and I'm going to close with what I said at the beginning, which was fall down 7 times, get up 8 times. And at the end of the day, if you're going to find it's going to be worth it, to start a business, you change your whole life. Thank you.
Cassie, that book girl.
Am I there? Hiccup there? Not maybe too major, so. How y'all doing? Doing all right? I'm excited to be here. I will say we are hoping to see many, if not all of you, in the future during the bidding process. Briefly, My name is Stephen Degger. I'm the Deputy Commissioner for the Division of Purchases and Supplies. And for probably most, if not all of you, if you're doing business with the city, you're going to be very familiar at some point with my office, and I certainly hope that you are. So let me see if I can push the right button. There we go. Briefly, who are we? So the Division of Purchases and Supplies is the central procurement office for the city of Cleveland. We process bids under 50,000 as well as over 50. And without getting too much into the weeds on that, it's essentially based upon the codified ordinances. We are bound to follow the procedures outlined in there depending upon the dollar amount for the project, the bid, or the idea. We are located actually just right over there beyond this large pillar and corner on room 128 of obviously City Hall. Our main line is 216-664-2620. So if you have any questions after the event today, feel free to stop in, give us a call. I think most of you actually might have my card already with your vendor registration form. So shoot me an email or however you prefer to get in contact with us. Our mission statement is to purchase in a timely manner all goods and services for the city of the correct quantity at the lowest possible price in support of the mission of the city of Cleveland and in compliance with all of the codified ordinances. So basically, what does this mean for you? The city of Cleveland buys a lot of stuff. We buy things from pencils to police cars, to street projects, to flow control, to air court demos and new buildings and all kinds of things and everything in between. And when we're doing that, we want to get things at the best price in compliance with the specifications and obviously in accordance with the law, which is particularly important to me because I once upon a time was an attorney with the city, so that's obviously important as well. Michael talked briefly about the certification process earlier. I would highly, highly, highly encourage all of you to follow up on that and complete all of the forms and things of that nature. I know it seems a little bit daunting today, kind of, getting the 50,000 foot view of things, but it'll be worth it to kind of dive in and do the work and see at the papers, you get those certifications going forward. Okay, so basically, you're certified. The next question is, now what do you do? So our department is responsible for essentially administering the various bids that go out pretty much on a daily basis. As I mentioned earlier, we have bids under 50 and over 50, and all those bids are posted on the City of Cleveland's website, which is clevelandohio.gov. Basically, you go to the website. This is kind of what the name page looks like. There's a sort of a subheader on the side called Business. You'll want to click on the Business tab, and then to your left, there's a Contracts and Procurement sub-tab that you'll click on. That will open up a listing of the over 50 as well as under $50,000 bids. Just a brief overview of some definitions related to bids. If I can move that, there we go. So we have two different types of bids. There's the very long definition for both of those. I'll sit here reading all that. Essentially, an invitation to bid is a specific method of soliciting competitive bids for anything or item over 50,000. And a request for bids is for essentially any item that we seek to procure that's under 50,000. I wouldn't get too caught up in the weeds on that because you can take note of it, but it's certainly not imperative to your success. So we will kind of walk through briefly. So that we do have a wealth of information within our page on City of Cleveland website. There's resource links that I would encourage any of you that are new to the process to kind of walk through. They're all hyperlinks, so you can click on whether it's bidding instructions, invitations to bid, and they'll kind of open some additional headers that will kind of go into more detail on the various subjects and things that we cover. I'm going to touch briefly on it. I think all of you already got the registration forms. So like I said before, I would highly encourage you to register, but please be advised you are not required to register in order to submit bids on projects. So if you see something today that you're like, oh, I can do this, by all means, proceed with the bid and submit a bid. But in the future, you can certainly register, but it's not going to preclude you from submitting a bid if you're not already, and you see something today that closes tomorrow. So by all means, delay, but also please, if possible, do register. Additional information on our website, I would encourage you to familiarize yourself with our various links that kind of go into further detail on a lot of the stuff that we do. Today's probably not the forum to walk through each individual one. We'd be here a really long time. I don't think you'd like me very much, so I'll kind of leave that to you at your leisure to sort of review and go through the various things. All right, let's get kind of to the meat and potatoes sort of what we do. As I mentioned before, we do invitations a bit under as well as over 50,000. They are located on the city's website, and it's kind of going to look essentially like this. You're going to see two different tags, and obviously each one's going to take you to different types of bids that we posted at the moment. And so we'll kind of start with the under 50. Under 50 is a much, much, much simpler process to submit a bid. There's far less that's required of you to submit as part of your bid, and generally the process quicker, but also keep in mind things under 50 are going to be your more common simple items and things of that nature. Generally, anything under 50 that's posted is going to be at least 1,000 or up to 49,999,000. These bids are going to be on the website for a minimum of 48 hours. By codified ordinance, we have to post things for at least 48 hours. I will say most things are posted at least a week, sometimes more than that. But if you look today, if you don't see maybe an item that is relevant to what your business does, I would continually check in practically on a daily basis because things are constantly changing, especially for under 50. Due to the nature of these bids, we do not accept faxes. In fact, we do accept paper copies, but the key is they got to be in a sealed envelope. And you really need to make sure that you've got them in before 3 o'clock, because all bids under 50,000 are going to close at 3 o'clock on the date designated on the invitation to bid. You can as well, and this is probably our preference, submit them electronically. There is an email address listed here, but it's also going to be on the invitation to bid. I would highly encourage everyone to actually submit them as a PDF and submit them to that email address. Generally, it's a safer and easier way to keep track of everybody's bid and making sure it's been timely submitted and all of that. And also you can receive verification that we've received it. Additional information in the 50, they're pretty simple. You're gonna have a scheduled items page. I mean, usually it's more than 2 or 3 pages. Obviously you'll wanna review the specifications included there and their relevant sections and complete obviously pricing and whatever else it may ask for. They're going to include terms and conditions. These terms and conditions are included with the invitation to bid, but also when you resubmit it, they need to be a part of that bid as well. And there's a checklist that I would also follow as you're going through the bid to make sure you're including all the stuff that's needed. And also you have to complete a Northern Ireland affidavit. I don't want to go too far to that today, but if you have questions about that, give me a call or send me an email. We'll save that for a different time because it's not overly relevant at the moment. We will also move now to the bids over 50. So under 50 are pretty simple. They're submitted generally by email. Some as a PDFs, include the buyer's name, the RFP number, in the subject line, and that's pretty much it for under 50s. When it comes up over 50, it's completely different. It's a lot more in depth, and it's going to require a lot more of your time. Basically, invitations to bid over 50 can also be found on the city's website. They absolutely must be submitted in person in room 128 by noon of the bid closing date. And any bid over 50 is only going to close on a Wednesday, Thursday, or a Friday. But like I just want to stress, these absolutely have to be in sealed envelopes and delivered and timestamped in person. We don't accept anything over 50 through email. On the date of the opening, you can stay. We publicly read and open all the bids over in our office in room 128. So if you submit something and you're curious where you stand, we open all the bids for that project. We announce general pricing for each bidder. And so you'll kind of get a pretty good idea of where you are in relation to the others almost instantaneously. Some forms. So when you go into the website and actually take a look at the over 50, you're going to find there's a lot of documents. I would say the average bid packet over 50 could be 70 pages. I see you can go up to a couple of hundred, depending on how complex the project is. So, be advised there's a lot there. And within those documents, there are some fundamental ones that you really want to make sure that when you submit your response are included, because a failure to include these things could ultimately kick your bid out as deemed as non-responsive. Some of the forms to keep in mind that you really want to ensure are included, and these will all be in the bid packet itself, so don't worry about what they look like right now, but just take kind of note. Is there's a vendor ID form. You're going to want to include your W-9. Bidder's affidavit. For the bidder's affidavit, be sure you fill it out, but also make sure you sign it and get it notarized. It's imperative that it's notarized. We also have a bid form that essentially you'll want to make sure you sign. You complete the applicable lines on that. There's the schedule of items, which is essentially what you're bidding on. You'll want to fill out all the applicable lines there. Sign every page if there's multiple pages, and ensure that those are signed and dated as well. And also make sure they're all included with your bid packet. Wool in Ireland is also relevant to bids over 50. Be sure to fill that out. And also any OEO goals if it's a project that there is no OEO goal for, be sure that those documents are included as part of the bid as well. And then depending on the bid, there may be other bid-centric documents that are your typical that we'll talk about today. Just to reiterate, bids over 50 must be submitted in person, room 128 over there. Make sure the time sent, and anything late will not be accepted. So if you don't get it in by 11:59 and the date is due, unfortunately, it could be the most amazing bid in the world, but it's not. We can't accept it. So, our office also does monthly office hours. So, I would encourage any of you, if you have any questions, to call or email us. But also, if you want to come in person and maybe get a deeper dive on what we do and the process, we hold monthly office hours the first Tuesday of every month. In room 128. We also will do it by WebEx. We'll post a link on the city's website, and you can basically just click on the link to open the invitation to the meeting as well.